It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, you have arrived on a Friday. It's the end of a work week, although it's a shortened work week, but it's still a Friday, and that means it's a Masterpiece Friday, everybody. We're going to get to a master song, a big-time song, and for the first time on the channel, I'm hearing music by the Police. Can you believe that? We're at almost episode 800, and I've never done music by the Police or by Sting. Although, now I'm thinking, I did a cover of Fields of Gold by Eva Cassidy that I absolutely love. That was a few years ago. But I've enjoyed the music of Sting and the Police over these years. Megan and I actually went to a concert by the Police. That would have been back in 2007 or 2008, as I remember, and we absolutely loved it, especially watching Stuart back there on the back doing his thing. What an incredible percussionist Stuart Copeland is, and the whole band. They're all great, right? But the reason why I am coming to Roxanne today by the Police is because a couple of weeks ago, Megan actually found online this cover of Roxanne that's done by a band from Germany, and she didn't even ask me. She put it in my personal calendar, and I said, "What's this?" She's like, "That's what you're doing on Friday." I said, "Oh, okay, I guess that's what we're doing." So it's the cover of this that has grabbed our attention, but I wanted to go back and learn a little bit more, make sure I was up on everything with the original version of this. So we're going to listen to both the original version and this cover by AnnenMayKantereit, which is a band from Germany. And I'm happy that y'all are with me. So let us begin. Let's see. The original first. This is the lead single, actually, from the band, The Police, their very first single. It was released in 1978 in April, about 7 months ahead of Outlandos d'Amour, which was their debut album and the album on which Roxanne appears. So on this song, Sting is our songwriter, and from what I could find out, the band was in Paris on tour in 1977, the year before, and the hotel that they were staying at was not very glamorous. It was in a seedy part of town, and there were quite a few active prostitutes in that neighborhood. And so the song is then from the point of view of a guy who falls in love with the prostitute, and the name Roxanne comes from a character in the play Cyrano de Bergerac. And that's something that I had not made a connection with previously. How about that? So, speaking of Stuart Copeland, it was his brother, Miles, who, when Miles heard the song, he became quite enthusiastic about the song. He thought it was great. It was going to be a hit. And he also was enthusiastic about his brother's band. And so Miles ends up going to these record companies, and he uses this song, the recording of Roxanne, as the way to help secure the Police's initial record contract. And in the process, he became the band's manager as well. Pretty cool, right? Although it was their lead single, it did not garner immediate success. It didn't even chart in the United Kingdom initially, y'all, but it did chart in America, and it eventually became the band's signature tune. So let's get to the version by the Police here before we move on to the cover version. We've got Sting on bass and lead vocals, and he's also on the butt piano at the beginning of the track. Andy Summers is on guitar and backing vocals, and Stuart Copeland is on the drums, percussion, and backing vocals. All right, y'all, let's get reacquainted with Roxanne by the Police. Off we go. 4, 1. There was that butt piano, and that's him laughing. That's cute. Just going down the scale, the bass is. Boom, and they end up in G minor. Boom, F, E flat, to D, to C. Going low. And meanwhile, Sting is singing quite high, isn't he? That's cool. And 1, and 2, 3. So they're syncopated bass is not coming in on the one, it's coming on the and of one. So in this chorus, they resolve to the relative major, which is B flat. And they're still syncopated through there, but in a more kind of straightforward 4. Then back to the verses. Great groove. I know my mind is made up, so put away your makeup. I can't even sing that high when I try to with my falsetto, y'all. Such a cool, interesting song. Interesting reggae guitar with unbelievable, like, proggy percussion and sting on the vocals, right? Great sounding song, isn't it? Even though it's about a prostitute. Maybe that's what kept it from going very well in Europe. I'm not sure. There you go. Kind of like how I remembered it. It's a relatively short song, but man, it's got a lot of color, and I don't know any song kind of like it. You know, it's just really cool. So, we've got that out of the way, friends. We remember what it sounds like. Of course, iconic, one of the best. From the Police, who are one of the better rock and roll bands of the last 40 years, right? So, let's look at this other band. It's AnnenMayKantereit, and they are from Germany. So they formed in 2011 when they were in school together. And they use their names to make up the band name. How about that? We've got Christopher Annen, Henning May, and Severin Kantereit. AnnenMayKantereit. And often the band's name is shortened to just AMK. Kind of like CSNY, right? So they actually have 5 albums, and all 5 of them have charted in the top 5 in Germany. And that surprises me because I had never heard of them. As I look at this, their cover of Roxanne that was posted to YouTube in August of 2015 has almost 69 million views. So it's not just people in Germany that are listening to these guys. They are all over, and they have eluded my gaze here. And I'm happy that Megan has found this. I'm just really interested to see what they did with it and why it struck her so that she said, "You're doing it. I don't care." So I looked, and I couldn't find their cover of Roxanne included on any of their albums. So I think this is a special performance, and it looks like in this cover, AMK is joined by another band called Milky Chance, and they're also from Germany. And as I look into Milky Chance, they also look like they've had some really nice success over the past decade, and I believe they're a duo, if I'm not mistaken. So let's continue on, my friends. I need to get to this cover and see just what Megan was all in a tizzy about. Let's get to it, y'all. I need to hear this. We've got Clemens Rabine and Philip Dausch of Milky Way, and Christopher Annen, Henning May, and Severin Kantereit of AMK. Let's see what their version of Roxanne sounds like. Off we go. Different key, and they're live. minor, down a third. Woo! It allows for a different color vocally. Interesting color. Nice. There was percussion.
Roxanne, Roxanne,
Okay.
Roxanne, Roxanne,
That's a cool choice, isn't it?
Roxanne,
They just take away all the rhythm and let
Roxanne.
that really reverberant space that they're in. Woo. I love videos that really don't cost any money to make. They're just all hanging out.
I love you since I knew you. I wouldn't talk on to you. Here to tell you just how I feel. I won't share you with another boy.
Fascinating.
Now, no man is made up.
I wouldn't expect their two voices to go so well together. Woo. A little pitchy. So instead of building, it goes to the major key.
Roxanne,
And I love the harmonica.
Roxanne, 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 Roxanne.
I need to look at these guys a little bit more. I like their vibe.
Put on the red light, 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 put on the red light.
There you go. There you go. I should have, I've been married 23 years, y'all. I should know better by now that I should trust Megan. Of course I trust her. That's why I did it. But I'm like, what was so special about it? Everything was special about that. Wasn't that wonderful? I know that there was spots where they were a little pitchy, but it was so warm and inviting, and I just loved their vibe. They moved it down by a third. The Police are up in G minor with Sting's really high vocals. They moved it down a minor third from G to E and played it basically the same way, which allows for a more baritone approach that's a little more approachable vocally, especially for guys that may not sing as high as Sting. But I really enjoyed their vibe. AnnenMayKantereit and Milky Chance. That's cool. Germany, y'all got it going on over there. I need to check into these guys, AnnenMayKantereit. Like I said, they've got 5 albums that they have released. And when I look at it, in Germany, all of them charted in the top 5. But this is my first time ever hearing them or hearing about them, and I enjoyed it. What a great cover, right? It's paying homage to the original. They're not changing a ton of it, but they've got a change in, especially, okay, let's talk about it. The chorus. When we hear the Police do the chorus, boom, 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 Roxanne, goes into that more sturdy 4, and they bring the energy up for those choruses. These guys, whoosh, they flip it and say, let's just let the word Roxanne reverberate, and do it a little bit differently. And it was just fun to hear how this song that I've heard many times over the years could be reinterpreted, but still be a really well-crafted cover based on the original. Quite fun, right? An interesting thing for us to do on a Friday. It's been a wonderful week of music, y'all. I am hoping to continue that as we get into June. Today is the last day of May, so on to June we go and the rest of the year, y'all. So let's get to it, except that's going to be all for me today, y'all. I think that's it for today, but I've got more things planned next week, next month, and for the rest of the year, and I hope that you will continue to hang out with me as we do it. It's a fun community, and we always have fun with these videos, lifting up the music that most of the time I have missed. But this time I knew Roxanne, but I didn't know this other version, and it's really fun to see how a piece of music can be reinterpreted and sound different when performed by a variety of people, not just the original people that wrote it and performed it. Wonderful stuff. Thanks y'all for being with me. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily